What I see the future, well, it's an urban future. And cities have got to make it.
Cities like Chicago, Madrid, London are already a microcosm of the world.
Going to the known territories is ordinary and needs to be done. But going to the unknown territories requires a new kind of explorer, a new kind of way of doing business, and that is to be comfortable with chaos.
I feel alive when I'm in the city. My DNA is urban. I love to be a part of the city.
Diversity of culture, a melting pot of ideas, the world put together in one big place that we call the city.
Cities are all different. They all have unique histories, unique cultures. They all have something that makes them different from any other city in the world.
I felt called to urban church planting because of the diversity in the city. So that's my story. I'm an immigrant. I'm foreign born.
You look at a city like Chicago, it's a city of neighborhoods. People identify with their neighborhood, people spend time in their neighborhood, and as a result, you kind of have to be present in the neighborhoods.
I love how my kids see the city from the back of the scooter. Scooting is as close to walking in the sense of really taking in what's happening around me.
I'm the lead pastor at Fumble Park, the English congregation.
I'm a church planter in residence in Albany Park.
Downtown Paris, Manhattan, Hong Kong looks like this, Miami Beach.
Just when you thought you've got a system, you've got it running, and it's working, things change.
Cities all over the world are beginning to turn into a cube.
The reality is, we don't even have enough space in our cities to house the new 100 million people we're expecting in our country by 2050.
The new city is these gated communities that you cannot get inside of.
For urban workers who are in places of constant flux and change, without innovation, you'll die.
That's a big challenge for mission and evangelism in the future.
If the church is going to fulfill the call and the mission of Jesus Christ, then it's going to have to delve into urbanization and globalization as a church and be able not only survive it, but thrive in it.
Well, the thing that makes a neighborhood above all is the neighbors. And if you don't love the neighbors, you can't love the neighborhood.
For the first time in human history, the Lord God of salvation is sending the nations to neighborhoods.
If you want to reach people, you have to be in that neighborhood, serving that neighborhood in the way that neighborhood needs to be served.
I see a whole new generation of young, vibrant, entrepreneurial leaders that are looking at the city with new eyes. Urban missionaries saying, let me come and plant in this community of the city and reach this tribe.
It's no longer a grass-thatched roof hut from a jungle. This is the mission field of the future on all 6 continents.
If I was not a church planter, what would I be doing?
Values and culture trump organizations and rules and policies.
The focus wasn't necessarily at first church planter. The focus for me was, here's a young man of God who's hungry for Jesus, hungry to want to learn. All I want to do is teach him what I know.
Relationships, values, and culture are going to shape everything that happens in a church planting environment.
When we talk about reaching the city, we're not talking about necessarily you have to be urban hip. We're talking about finding a niche in the city you can relate to and throwing yourself to reach the people in that niche.
World-class cities challenge our securities and our boundaries, and they then make us go, God, we need you.
The church now has the opportunity to be global and local at the same time. Everything missionaries ever did anywhere in the world, we now have to do in the parish. We have to learn the languages, the culture. We have to get serious about all of the things missionaries ever went to school to learn to do. Cross oceans, cross deserts, cross mountains. All we had to do was cross the streets.
We are a network of churches that is focusing on urban centers and asking how can we not just plant a church in the city, but how can we literally change the landscape of mega urban centers.